So what stands between you and your goals? See, that's a really important question if we're going to talk about coaching and coaching as a project manager and coaching teams and team members for greater performance. It's kind of to understand ourselves and to understand what it is that holds us back. What it is that sometimes it's a fear of failure, sometimes it's a fear of success, sometimes it's that we're not entirely sure if the goal aligns with what we really should be doing or want to be doing. And there's a hesitancy about the impact of the decision, what are the consequences. And that's why we need to take a journey now into who you are, who we are, and then we'll have a look at how you can actually apply the coaching technique, coaching tool to coaching others. But the best place to start is with understanding how to assess and analyze and coach yourself. So the agenda for us in this next hour and a half is going to be a little bit slow in the beginning. And the reason we're going to do that is I'm going to talk about the Grow Smarter model, and then we'll go on a self-reflection exercise, a bit of a journey where we'll spend actually kind of almost half an hour, depending on how long you want to take to pause the video, reflect on what we're talking about, fill in the spreadsheet and the table that I'll work through with you. So that first part of this course is going to be about you, and it's going to be slow. So I'm going to be typing away slowly on the screen while filling in a form, and I'm hoping that you will have the same form as a template open on your machine or on a piece of paper, and that with the pace at which I'm typing and talking gives you time as well just to be thinking it through, filling it in. And if by any chance I'm going faster than you want, then just pause the video for a moment, apply yourself to the exercise that's in front of you, and then once we've done that, at a self-reflection, and where I'm looking at the holistic life and just trying to give an overview of coaching for self or coaching for meaning, coaching others around the balanced life and the centered life. That's a premise for me as we then look forward into the next skills exercise, which is looking at project management skills and attributes, and going very much quicker through that because we'll have talked through the concept of the spreadsheet and the wheel, the squircle that I'm using. And having done that, then we take a subset of that again and we look at, well, how could we use this to evaluate? So where we have to start is with the Grow Smarter model, just to explain that right up front in the course. The G in Grow stands for goal or goals, and then the R stands for what's realistic, what's reality for you. The O is being the options, and the W is the will. What are you going to do? Who do you need to help you? WWW. What are you going to do? Who do you need to help you? When are you going to do it? Why are you doing it? Can reinforce things. Now, to define that goal with more clarity, more specifically, is to look at the acronym of SMART, being make that new goal, the refined goal. The SMART is specific, make it measurable, make it aligned with your greater goals, greater purpose, and your ambitions at work, whatever it might be, to make sure that it's aligned with those things. And then realistic. So it's going back to the kind of grow about goal, realistic. Is it realistic? And then is it time boxed? Any goal that you set, whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a big picture business goal, whether it's a project level goal, and the project or the objective or goal of a work stream or work package needs to be specific, measurable, aligned with the project needs and the organizational needs, and then it must be realistic, even if it has a bit of stretch in it, and then it must be. admittedly, what we have here is going to be a little tricky to fit into the various cells, but let's have a look at this matrix, which I've attached to the lecture as additional material that you can download and fill this in parallel with me if you wish now. And then you can just adapt the words, the descriptions, to suit you when you are thinking in advance of maybe meeting with somebody and you want to have a difficult conversation with them, you want to motivate them, engage with them, enable them somewhat in their performance within your project team. But for the purposes of this course, let's just have a quick look at if I was doing this course, and you can download and fill in for yourself. But my goal in doing this course is to improve my PM impact on a new team I have based around the world, so that I can more effectively engage with them. Forgive the keyboard noises if you're picking them up. On remote calls. Because if you think about it, with all of this remote working, you have to become more effective in asking the right questions on calls, helping people to think for themselves, if not meaning that in any derogatory way. But you want people to learn how to talk to each other and explore solutions without having to be in the same room. So it's so that you can more effectively engage with them on remote calls, enabling me to demonstrate leadership and have an impact with my management, because that's good for my career. So that's the goal. That's what I want to achieve. Is it realistic that doing this course will impact that? Well, yes, because I am interested and motivated. It's dropped off the screen, but it'll come back up in a moment. If I just say, there we go. So it's realistic because I'm interested and motivated. You know, if I had more to say about that, then would it be a realistic expectation, for example, so that I can more effectively engage with them on remote calls? If I drop down and say, well, is it realistic to more effectively engage? Well, yes, because you know that many of your peers have been managing people like this. Your management have been managing you remotely throughout the pandemic. So it's about adding this coaching to your toolkit. And is it a realistic expectation that I'll demonstrate leadership and have an impact with my management? Absolutely. You know, people do recognize when you are more effective with your team than other people are with their teams, and that you will deliver on complex projects that are being managed across time zones and across cultures. So my options in doing this course are, I could do it just today, just do this 1 hour and think I'm an expert. Another option is I could complete it on the weekend, because maybe then I can do an hour, go and coach somebody a few hours later, and then come back and kind of redo the hour, or just review the work, looking back at a couple of the videos or this video, whatever it might be. Could you complete it in a week? Well, yes, you know, that's a realistic option. And like I said, option 4, do an hour, then coach, and come back, you know, and maybe give yourself a little bit of time. But don't rush off to do another course until you feel that you've given this one due regard. And then creating the will, being specific. Well, looking at the options, then here you're trying to say, okay, I will do option one, or I will do option two. Just because you're going to be more specific in how you word it. I will do option one in one day, but that one day is going to be Friday evening. Um, Being specific there, I'll know I've achieved it by, in this instance, which is very simplistic, almost by looking at my calendar, but by looking at the fact that I have spent the time once, coached once, and then gone on to other work. It does align with my other objectives to become excellent in what I do and to progress my career in a company that values coaching. Then is it realistic? Well, yes, I can, and I can achieve it without sacrificing balance, because I'm not trying to do 1 hour of study, 1 hour of coaching, and another hour of study all today, because it takes time to do it properly. And I'll achieve my goal by, well, tomorrow or Friday or Monday or next Friday, depending on which option you've chosen. So that's basically how you would go and fill in your template.